I can convert large numbers into scientific notation format. So that's what we're going to be doing here. And look, first off, these numbers are not very large, but I'm starting with smaller numbers so you can get the hang of it. Reduces your workload a little bit. So let's go through here and let's go through the steps. Copy all the numbers from in between the first and last non-zero number. So here's my first non-zero number. It's also my last, so that's what I copy down. Place the decimal after your first non-zero number you copied. Well, there it is. If there's only one number that you wrote down, don't worry about putting a decimal. And then write times 10. So here we go, times 10. And move the decimal from where it started in the original number to the new number. So here's where our decimal started. Here's where we're going to put it, right here in front of that 5. And the number of spaces that we move it is going to be our exponent. So 3, 6, 9. There we go. If you type in 5 times 10 to the ninth, it will show you that that's the same as 5 times 1 billion, and 5 times 1 billion is 5 billion. So that's how it works. Let's try it again. Copy all numbers from in between the first and last non-zero numbers. Here's your first non-zero number, the 1, and the last one that's not 0 is 2. So copy those down, 1 and 2. Place the decimal after your first non-zero number. Well, that'd be the 1. Write down times 10. And then move your decimal from where it started in the original number to the new number. So here we go. It was right there. We need to move it over 3, 6, because it's right after that 1. So it's in between the 1 and 2 is where that decimal wound up. So 3, 6. That's going to be our exponent. Here's the last one. Now look, 8 is your very first non-zero number, and the 4 is your last non-zero number. So you really have to write all of these down. Put your decimal after the first non-zero number, times it by 10, and we had to move our decimal from here originally all the way to in front of that 8. So 3, 6, so it's to the 6th power again. Here's the basic steps written down for you if you need to look at it, but if you could just pause the video and then check to see if you got these right, we can see how you're doing. Okay, this one should have been 4 times 10 to the 6th power. This one, a little bit more difficult, but basically there's all our non-zero numbers. There's our first non-zero number, there's our last one. So 5012, put your decimal after your first non-zero number, the 5, and you see that we had to move this decimal 3, 6, 9 spots. So times 10 to the 9th power. This one's a little bit easier. 611, put the decimal right there, times 10 to the, let's see, 3, 6, 9, 12. And here's the last one. Don't let this discourage you. That's your first non-zero number. This is your last non-zero number, so it really is all the numbers. Put your decimal right after the 7, and we had to move that decimal 2 spots, so it's times 10 to the 2nd. Now, we still have to take a look about how do we get it from being in scientific notation back to the standard format, or the normal format, if you would. So let's take a look at this one. We have 2.3 times 10 to the 4th, and let's just follow our steps here. Write the front number with no decimal. So write down 2, 3. Okay, that's our front number. Move the decimal to the right, the number of spaces the exponent says. Well, it says to the right. This is an exponent of 4, so I'm going to move it over from right here, 1, and then 2, 3, 4. Now, again, what's happening is your decimal was right here originally, and then you moved it over once, twice, 3 times, and then the 4 time because you had the exponent of a 4 there. So it was, you moved it in front of the 1 And then you've got to basically add on 3 zeros as a placeholder to be able to move it 4 place values. That's all that we do to take it from being in scientific notation to standard form. So that becomes 23,000. How about you pause the video, try this, and then hit play when you're ready. 6,700 should be what you got for number 10. 820,100 is number 11. And 44 million should be number 12. And 700 million and 20,000 would be number 13.